welcome you to Fertitta Center here in Houston for a great battle in the Big 12. John Sciambi, Fran Fraschilla, number 2 at home, taking on number 4. And this could be a Final Four type preview. What a day of college basketball on the ESPN family of networks. Nice speed and a great move by Bradley to put it home off the glass.
Really good cut by Bradley from the weak side. If you're going to attack Houston, remember they will trap in the post, trap and pick and roll, so the ball must move quicker than Houston's defenders do, and that is a great cut.
Sanak with a Waka on him. Both these teams are really good offensive rebounding teams. Sanak. That shot was contested. Sanak gets it back. And second time, he puts it in, and Houston's on the board.
All right, John, you just saw the proverbial tip out. Kelvin Sampson wants 15 tip outs a game to create extra possessions, offensive rebounds that you can't grab and you tip it out to a teammate.
And one of the things that makes Arizona so hard to deal with, if you're looking at it from a defensive perspective, is that they make shots and they get offensive rebounds. So they shoot it at a high rate, and then they do that.
Oh,
and
nice
they do
tip.
that.
Yep.
Krivas, the tip of the miss from Murray's, and it's 6-2.
Well, we've seen the improvement over Mo Krivas over his redshirt sophomore year. Missed last year with a broken leg.
Turnover there. Bradley intercepts, and now looking. Finds Awaka. Inside Smart, and one. Toby Awaka to the line, and Arizona off to a good start.
That's what happens when you have a veteran point guard. Bradley was 1-on-2. He pulled it out. He waited for his teammates to fill the spots. And of course, we told you, Toby Awaka is not going to jump over a New York City phone book. Look that up, folks, because he doesn't get very high, but he uses that size and width inside to make it happen for him.
No Colapine, and so C.D. Gay has checked into the game. He played 10 minutes, had 4 points and 4 boards in the win against BYU. So Gay in for Arizona. Awaka completes the 3-point play. And here in the early going, Awaka with 5, and it's Arizona leading 9-2.
Now the freshman Gay only played 14 minutes in the previous 6 games.
Flemings is pass off the hands of Sanak. A turnover. Tommy Lloyd in his 5th year here at Arizona and getting a chance in the Big 12. By the way, Houston is the only Big 12 team that he has not defeated. Marchenko thought about it. Another of their excellent freshmen. Del Orso picked from Australia into the game. This is him up top. Bradley, step back mid-range, and it's off the mark.
Tough shot by Jaden. He was trying to orchestrate an opportunity to not use the ball screen.
Flemings directing traffic with Bradley on his hip. And that was off the mark.
I'll tell you, John, solid defense by Arizona early. They forced some really tough shots by the Cougars.
Marchenko back to Bradley as they move the basketball. Del Orso. Awaka, double team comes inside. And I think they got Awaka as he found Kingston Flemings. 9-2 here in the early going. A freshman shall lead them. For Kingston Flemings in Houston, the freshman has been huge, not to be outdone. Braden Burries of the Wildcats, he's been outstanding. Great freshman guard matchup here in Houston. King of the jungle, the Wildcat or the Cougar, very similar. The Wildcats first in percentage of scoring from freshmen. Houston is 4th. Meanwhile, offensive rebounding, Both teams at least in the 94th percentile as they crash the offensive glass, and then they defend. No question about it. Houston, one of the top teams in the country. They can play that suffocating defense. And then how about some guards with tournament experience, both Bradley and Sharp. So who will be king of the jungle? We'll wait and see. It would not be a surprise to see both of these teams in the Final Four.
Well, and not only that, it's not just February 21st. Both of these teams, as you mentioned, John, they're thinking long term. A month from now, the NCAA tournament will start on the 19th. And when healthy, Arizona is as good as anybody in the country. We've seen that already.
The Harvard transfer Evan Nelson has checked into the game for Arizona. Tucson kid.
3-year starter at Harvard and working on his graduate degree back home.
Got good coaching there.
Yes, he did.
Easy going to work. Flemings. And using. Shot clock winding down. Sharp.
I'll tell you, first 4 or 5 minutes, this defense has been suffocating. What they're doing is they are packing the paint and forcing Houston to take tough jump shots.
Chenkov trying to turn the corner on Sinek. Rivas, short. And the tip eventually collected by Flemings.
See how quickly the Wildcats get back. You'll see 5 blue jerseys in the paint at best.
Sinek, another of their prize freshman. Full house at Fertitta Center. Using it.
He's been red hot lately. Ilo Shuzan, 41% behind the arc in Big 12 play.
Bradley aggressively at the goal, and he spent past Houston.
You rarely see Houston with no weak side help in rotation right there. But the senior saw the crease, and he was able to get to the rim.
Mentioned Colapita's out for Arizona. The other player that is back in Tucson dealing with the flu is Dwayne Ariston. Del Orso a steal, 2-on-2. Del Orso, Euro step, and one. Anthony Del Orso to the line.
I'll tell you what I love about that. Anthony Del Orso, he's looking at Bradley. Watch. He's sizing up the defense, and then he realizes that Flemings is not going to be legal, so he goes right at him. He's looking 2-on-1 right here, John. Watch. But he realizes he can get to the rim by himself. Really good IQ play by the senior.
Kind of slowed it down in order to make that play.
Yep, exactly.
Del Orso, brilliant free throw shooter at 85%. The kid from Melbourne and the transfer from Campbell.
Well, I'll tell you what. He came on against BYU. He had 22 points. Keep in mind, the previous night he was averaging 4 points a game. He's taking advantage of some of those injuries.
22 points, the most he had in an Arizona uniform. Kelvin Sampson, head coach for Kingston Flemings and the Cougs. And, well, for Kelvin in his 12th season, and they're perfect at Fertitta Center. Harwell. The freshman guard knocking it down. Marchenkov off the glass and in. He's kind of their Swiss Army knife.
We've grown to love this kid. We saw him against Alabama in November. Remember, last year he played in the top league in Germany with professional players. Nothing, he's afraid of no one. Kelvin Sampson, John, you know this. He's been waiting for Harwell to break out.
Flemings finds some space to the corner of Hardy. Cougs 3 of 5 for 3.
I'll tell you, the shot was great. The pass was better.
McCarty frustrated.
Well, he's on a heater right now, Del Orso. Remember, he was a starter last year, and he had to sacrifice a little ego along with Alonka to come off the bench.
McCarty again. This time will go. Coming up on under 12 media timeout here in Houston. John Shelby, Fran Fraschilla, number 2 and number 4, as Arizona has the early lead on the road. Ooh. And they get that foul on Khalifa Sacco. Timeout on the court. We'll take it with them. You're watching the Big 12 here on ESPN. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Principal. Let's build a retirement benefits plan that works for your team. Well, the game of the century, January 20th, 1968. That's Houston at the Astrodome in front of 52,000 fans. Houston knocked off unbeaten and the UCLA team on a 47-game win streak led by that man, Big E, Elvin Hayes, at 39 and 50.
Exactly. The last time in the regular season at Houston, part of a top-5 matchup. That man right there, who we've gotten to know, he played 16 NBA seasons, pre-load management, and he missed 8 games in 16 seasons. No cramping, no issues, just went out and played ball, and he's beloved here. And we saw Reed Geddes before the game. I saw Andre Ware here, one of our colleagues at ESPN, and how proud they are of what Kelvin Sampson has built over 12 years. John, it can't be overestimated.
Yeah, these are 2 of the top programs in all of college basketball. One thing to note, Arizona is up 7. Brayden Burris hasn't scored.
Arizona's been very cool, calm, and collected so far versus that pressure.
Del Orso flips it up.
Smart. That's the senior and the freshman right there.
They got Flemings in the air, and that's number 2 on Kingston Fleming.
Watch the little head fake right here. Then Flemings violates his space. And Anthony Del Orso, Melbourne kid, started at Campbell College.
The Camels.
The Camels.
All right, a reminder, don't miss tomorrow women's college basketball. It's a triple header on ESPN. Ole Miss and South Carolina getting it going at noon. And Tennessee and Oklahoma, Iowa State, and TCU will finish the afternoon.
Really good start by Arizona. They've taken this crowd out of the game.
Fleming sits with the 2 fouls. Del Orso has 7. It's Arizona by 9.
No room. Take a look. Uzan has nowhere to go.
Sharp wandering. Burries comes. Shot clock winding down. McCarty. Cutler tracks it down. Inside, step back. And he'll go to the line. Emmanuel Sharp will shoot 2.
And not a smart play by the senior Bradley, because Sharp was going to have to make a difficult shot over length, and Bradley came in from behind and whacked him.
Last couple of years, we talked about Juwan Roberts being, we would call him the culture warrior. And I asked Kelvin Sampson, okay, so who's taken over in that regard in terms of continuing on that Houston culture? And he said, no doubt it's this guy. It's Emmanuel Sharp.
It's been amazing 5 years. Remember, he broke his leg after his junior year in high school. All the schools that were recruiting him backed off except for one, Houston. He enrolled in Houston in the spring of his senior year of high school. He did not play for 18 months. And the rest is history, John, because he's going to go down as one of their all-time greats.
Born in Israel, grew up in the Tampa area. Both his parents played professionally over in Israel. 10 to go here, first half. And it's Arizona by 7. Number 2 against number 4. 4 on the road with the lead. Bradley off the feet for Rivas. Couldn't spin it home.
Boy, Karchenkov, how good a defender is he? One of the best freshman defenders in the country.
Tugler, left hand. And one. JoJo Tugler. He'll go to the line, and he'll get a chance at a three-point play.
I don't think anybody spends more time working around the basket than Houston does with their big guys. Rivas not easy to score over, but watch JoJo now. Little flick of that left hand, the weak hand. Another one of those culture warriors, and the key for him is staying out of foul trouble.
You think of Tugler, he goes 6'8". The wingspan is about 7'6", and he was the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year last year. Here comes a crowd. Great seal on the block by Awaka.
And let me tell you what's different about this Wildcat team. They're playing small, and it's usually a big-to-big, but Karchenkov, less than 10% of the time this season they play small, but you saw the passing of Karchenkov from that high post.
Museum finds Sharp, catch and shoot. Sharp has 5. It's the 4th three for the Cougs. They're within 3. Karchenkov answers.
Oh, he needed that. He has not been shooting well, Karchenkov. Only 3 for 19 in the previous 7 games, and it came at a great time.
Museum backing it out with Del Orso on him now. Sharp. Oh, boy, that's deep. I think Karchenkov touched it. Indeed, it'll be Houston basketball.
Let's take a look now. Watch the seal inside. Great position. He moves that defender up the lane. Well done. Perfect high-low. And then we've seen this about 280-plus times in his career. And then terrific inside-out by the senior Bradley, and Karchenkov with ice water in his veins. Young man from Munich, Germany, knocking it down.
Uzan looking for some help as he tries to trigger. Awaka almost stole it.
Oh, whoa, whoa.
What do they get?
Well, we had nothing.
They got a foul on Awaka. Toby Awaka picks up number 2. It's a 6-point game here in Houston. Auburn at 8:30, and we cap it off. Another great one of the Big 12. Number 23 BYU taking on number 6 Iowa State. All 3 games are on ESPN and the ESPN app.
Iowa State, John, they put out the committee, put out their top 16 today, and you see Iowa State was on the first line,
yeah,
a 1 seed. Yep, but you see these are teams that have been excellent on both ends of the floor, according to Ken Palm, and that does mean something. Oh, good double team.
Bradley grabs it, lets it in. The steal in the bucket.
Tell you, they gave Houston a taste of their own medicine. They went monster, which is what Houston caused a trap in the post, and it caused a silly turnover that led to 2.
The lead is 8 for Arizona. Percy Miller in the game now for Kelvin Sampson. This is Miller. Houston coming off a tough loss on Monday against Iowa State. And Miller will go to the line.
Let's go back and watch out of the timeout. Double team. JoJo Tugler throws it away. That leads to an open court run out by Jaden Bradley. Well, we've seen Mercy Miller get more time lately, John, the sophomore from Sherman Oaks. That young man did not play very much last year. Some people outside the program thought he might transfer, but if you come to Houston, you understand rarely is it a one and done. It's a 4-year process.
That last foul, by the way, on Mo Kribas, he's got 2. So Kribas and Iwata with 2. And again, they're playing without Koa Pete.
And they're playing small right now, which, as we mentioned, less than 10% of the time this year have they played the small lineup.
CD Gay accepts a check back in for the Wildcats. Chekhov putting it on the floor. Turnover on Arizona, just their second.
Yeah, I thought Yvonne was sped up right there, drove into no man's land without a plan.
Poor pass and another turnover.
That was almost over back. That was close. I'll tell you what Tommy Lloyd is thinking right now. Survive the next 6 minutes. Let's watch right here. He's got to be 2 feet in the ball over. Nope. That's good. Good officiating. Craig Nixon on the spot. Having been in this situation, John, with a lead on the road with foul trouble, he would love to go into halftime with any kind of lead. Because the game can get away from them right now with this lineup. Think about it, all 3 of their big guys are out right now, including Pete.
Bradley looking for space. Too many steps.
Right now, Kelvin Sampson has got to be licking his chops to cut into this Arizona lead with the Cats shorthanded, at least on the court.
Will Kelvin Sampson put Kingston Fleming's back?
I don't think so. No, that's not his style. 2,000, you usually sit.
Tugler. And it's Arizona basketball. 6:08 to play here in the first half. Gotten a smidge disjointed. And still, for Arizona, Brayden Murray's their best scorer is scoreless. Del Orso draws another foul.
That's a good, we call that a stampede drive right there, because Del Orso starts to move to the basket before he even catches the ball, and it gives him a step or 2 ahead of the defender guarding him. Really well done. He's going to get himself 2 free throws. Here, 1-1.
One spot for Del Orso. We told you, a free throw shooter, 85%. But he misses. Is that the announcer jinx?
No, it's a law of averages.
Sharp gets into the paint, step back. Chekhov pulls down the board. Del Orso, 3.
Now tough one.
Chekhov, what a save.
Nice.
Great look. Del Orso from Bradley.
Excellent.
Goodness. 9 for Anthony Del Orso, coming off his high in an Arizona uniform, 22 points, and a kid from Melbourne. 29-22.
Can't do that.
Bradley steps through. Chekhov.
Tatum's got to get rid of that ball quicker when that double team comes on the pick and roll.
Shot clock under 10. Bradley. Del Orso. Step back. Buries it.
Oh, he's feeling it. I thought he should have shot it quicker. He caught it the first time and he waited, but he knew more than I did because he created a little separation and he's playing with great confidence.
He's as good a shooter as they have. And off to a fine start here in this one. Flemings. That's sharp.
I'll tell you, the Wildcats have done a terrific job on the defensive glass. This is a little, we call it ghost screen right here. It's already happened. But watch Del Orso. I thought when he caught it first, he could have shot it. But he measured up the freshman Harwell just to create a little bit of distance and gets it off.
The last foul is on Emmanuel Sharp. His second. He'll take a seat. Flemings rebounds to miss. Under 4 to go, first half, and the road team, number 4 Arizona in the lead. Cutler bounce pass, and that almost reversed it with the spin off the glass.
When you go on the road in this league, the shooting may not go. Scoring sometimes a problem, but you can always bring your energy. Tommy Lloyd's team has done.
Anthony Del Orso coming off the bench and has given Tommy Lloyd's group some much-needed help. He's got a dozen points.
It just on the backs of a great performance against BYU at home. Last 39 minutes, he's got 34 points, and this is a guy, John, we've talked about. He struggled the previous 9. Tommy Lloyd is a guy that will tell you to keep shooting. We believe in you. Keep it up. We know you can do it. And so far, when they've needed him most in the game with foul trouble and injuries, he's delivered.
Arizona has led throughout, and this is the largest lead of the game for the Wildcats, by 10.
Already a crazy day in the Big 12. Cincinnati goes to Allen Fieldhouse and didn't just beat
them.
They thumped the
16 they beat them by.
Yeah. That trip home for Wes Miller and the Bearcats will be a fun one.
Houston comes into Allen Fieldhouse on Monday. Ellen and Kelvin having a chat over there. Able to get both of them. 8-point game.
And that's a foul you don't want to commit. 48 feet away from the basket. They show hard help on those ball screens, and then Bradley is good. You know the best thing about a senior guard, when that big fella shows, you just drive it right into his hip.
So Bradley will go to the line.
This young man, John, remember, he was the starting point guard on a #1 seed Alabama team as a freshman before coming to Arizona. Tommy Lloyd's had the luxury of having a guy that was connected to his hip for 3 years.
Really fine player, Jake Bradley. One of the best point guards in the country.
That time it's a jinx.
What do you mean?
He jinxed him the first time it was law of averages.
I didn't mention his free throw percentage there. Golly.
It's 2 in a row. It's an invisible turnover. Fleming's looking for a ball screen.
Harwell jumper. That's short. Arizona has really held this Houston offense down. Bradley jumper. That's good.
So sweet with that mid-range pull-up. is money. High paint, baseline. He's been so clutch for 3 years.
The lead back to 10. Clemens steps back and hits.
I'll tell you what, that's great defense. You can't do it any better. Kelvin wanted a foul. That's just great defense, and the freshman making a tough shot.
First 2 points of the game for Kingston Flemings. And that wide open look. And now Harwell, 1-on-2.
Oh, man. Oh, man, that's Karchenkov. He is so good with his hands. We've seen him do that all season long. He's got great anticipation.
Karchenkov got his hand on it, and then it deflected off of Uzan, out of bounds, Arizona ball.
Watch right here. Karchenkov just gets a piece.
It's been impressive to watch Arizona do what they've done with both Awaka and Krivas sitting. And Burries hasn't scored.
Tough shot. Tough shot. Didn't like that one.
Flemings contested. Rolls out.
I would slow it down. Tommy Lloyd wants him to slow it down.
Under 90 seconds to go here in the first half. And Arizona, number 4 in the country, on the road. And handling themselves just fine, thank you. Bradley, it's a 3. Flemings at the basket. And 1.
Watch Kingston Flemings probe the defense once he gets to the paint. I want you to keep an eye on how he's looking to figure out the easiest way to attack. Sizing everybody up, he sees the crease and he goes. He was ready to kick it. He was, watch right here. He sees he's got a crease and now he puts the defense in a bad way. Really good IQ basketball.
So now a chance at a 3-point play.
Interesting. Krivas is going to come back on offense with 2. Gay goes out.
And Flemings goes out on defense.
Yes, he's got 2. If you want to go 2 for 1 here, the shot has to go up by about 42.
Foul on Lott.
Big guys are very aggressive on those ball screens, but when you're over the limit, you don't want to commit a silly one 30 feet away.
Yeah, not on him and not
that far away.
Yeah. This will be 2 shots because it's double bonus the rest of the way. And Burries misses.
You know, one thing that if you look at the faces of the Arizona guys, John, I've seen it with Del Orso, and even now, remember, Burries is coming off the flu, and he looks like it. But they've played a lot of minutes as starters, and I think they're a little bit fatigued. But especially the kid at the line who's missed most of the week of practice, even though he played against BYU. Look at that.
Piston goal. Yep. Burries, a 79% free throw shooter. The lead is 5. What a block by C.D. Gay.
Well, he caught Jaden Bradley not looking. Yeah. Close. That looked like it could have been on the way down. Very close. Now, I've always felt with the new rule, if you're not sure if you're an official, make the call so that either coach can review it, but they played on.
Yeah, it's almost like, yeah, you're asking to rewire and say, lean towards calling goaltending.
All right, that's not necessarily the best thing to do.
Del Orso high off the glass.
Beautiful.
14 points for Anthony Del Orso, and he leads all scores. 16.9 to go in the first half, and Arizona in the lead. The Wildcats on the road and getting some help off the bench from the Aussie. And Anthony Del Orso has played quality minutes in this one, and he leads all scorers with 14 points.
As a coach, you're thinking, if you're Tommy Lloyd, we are going to have a lead at half, and we survive foul trouble on the part of Krivas and Awaka, so it's already a win.
Houston has not lost here at Fertitta Center this year.
Nice.
Flemings couldn't roll it home. Sanak puts it back in. And the first half comes to a close. 36-31. A second time that they've trailed at the half since joining the Big 12 in 2023. And the other time was in February of last year. 36-31, number 4, Arizona on the road with the lead here in Houston. Time now to send it to Reese Davis and the Game Day crew in D.C. for our halftime report.
The first of a couple of games that feel like a Final Four Saturday. Arizona with a 5-point lead.
DC College basketball presented by Principal. Well, Arizona third in the country in points in the paint and making their presence felt in that department with 20 of their 36 in the paint. Tobe Awaka and company leading at the break. 36-31 is our halftime score here at Fertitta Center, and the number 4 team on the road with the lead. We welcome you courtside, Jon Sciambi and Fran Fraschilla. And in that first half, saw some guys get into foul trouble. Nokoa Pete, he's out with an injury for Arizona, and yet even still, Tommy Lloyd got some help off the bench. Anthony Del Orso.
How many times have I told you this year they have 8 starters, probably ad nauseum, but tonight you see what we mean. Awaka in the starting lineup, Del Orso off the bench, 2 guys who started last year on a Sweet 16 team. And Anthony has been exactly what Tommy Lloyd needed in the first half. Not just the points, John, but the fact that he's kept this incredible crowd at bay with those timely baskets.
Arizona's defense outstanding, holding Houston to just 38% from the floor. I think the one other thing is that last number, points off turnovers. Kelvin Sampson's team is well known for taking defense and turning it into offense, and so far they get a big old 0 in that department.
And it mirrors what Iowa State did on Monday, where they did not allow Houston to get what we call unscripted points. Points off turnovers, fast break points, second chance points.
Ivan Karchenkov in front of us as...
Do we have a timeout? It looked like Kelvin, I think they were going to put the ball in the wrong way.
Yeah.
And Kelvin said, he said, wait. It's our ball.
It's like that LeBron clip of, it's our ball. It's our ball, ain't it? It's our ball. It's our ball.
Sharp's got to get going. Slow first half.
Sanak quiet as well. Walk on him, and now Uzan with Murray's on his hip. Uzan back out. Sanak will try. Loose ball. Looked like it was off Krivas. Nope. Out of bounds. And it'll be Arizona basketball.
Now this is very logical, and hear me out. The first 3 minutes of the second half for Arizona are critical. Now you say, of course they are. No, Kelvin Sampson's been in that locker room urging his team to play with more fire. You have to match it, and you have to play with composure on the road. Now, that's too much.
Korchenko a little out of control. Bradley. Korchenko working on Tugler. And that will go.
Very, very poised for a freshman.
Ron Korchenko with 7. Tugler. That rolls off. The lead is 7 for Arizona.
Yeah, they're controlling the tempo, John. They're running when they have numbers, and they're in the half court when they don't think they can get the open court. Really good basketball so far.
Hurries gets in on the move. Shot is short. Sinak grabs it. Now, Krivas, Flemings, Sharp.
That play happened because Flemings had the mismatch. He knew he was going to fly by Krivas. And once he got into the paint, he kicked it out.
Quick pause for Sharp knocks that one down. Quick pause here is Jaden Bradley and Emmanuel Sharp, or I should say, Kingston Flemings to tie their shoes. Bradley, Jaden has appeared to have changed his shoes at the break. He was wearing some pink Nikes, now coming out with some blue Kobe's. That one blocked by Tugler.
Watch him run. JoJo's running.
Flemings. That was halfway down, and they might have gotten a Waka with his 3rd.
Good
Indeed,
battle.
they did.
Yep, good battle. Watch the block at the other end. Kobe usually can muscle his way in there, but JoJo held his ground and used that incredible length right there. Great timing from the Defensive Player of the Year in the Big 12 a year ago.
JoJo Tugler. So Houston inbound, trying to chip away at that lead. Arizona has led the entire way. Sinak from Music. Well, Chris Sinak, one of the top recruits in the country, number 6 of the ESPN 100, who continues to get better and better. Korchenko from Bradley. That missed everything.
Remember, Chris Sinak, the rap on him is he didn't play hard in high school, and he picked the right place to change that narrative. Coming here to Houston and gets better and better, as you said, John. Great rebounder, good shooting touch. Just turned 19 early this month.
Del Orso picks up the steal. Del Orso.
Nice. Euro. Can you Euro if you're from Australia? I guess you can.
He just did. He's
Yes,
got
he did.
16, and I believe he's got 4 steals. So Anthony Del Orso has helped Arizona here on the road. The double team comes. Flemings. And 1.
What I don't like about that defense by Jaden Bradley is you know that this is the real estate for Kingston Flemings. And you almost got to just challenge him lightly instead of go at him. This kid is murder in that logo area. Jaden's got to know better than that.
Flemings a chance to get him within 1. And here we go. Number 4 and number 2 here from Fertitta Center. We got a good one. Nelson is checked back in for Arizona. Korchenko. The Looking for some space. A little bit short, and they got the foul on Sinak. No, they got it on Tugler.
Levon was very patient. He got great footwork, pivoting, looking for a spot. He's going to get a chance to shoot a couple.
Parchenkov at the line. The foul on Tugler is his third.
We mentioned this young man last year played at Bayern Munich in the top German league with guys like Shabazz Napier, Nick Weiler-Babb. He's been around professional players. His dad played 22 years in professional basketball. So mature, so tough.
Dad and mom played in Russia.
He's part of a generation that includes Christian Anderson at Texas Tech, Eric Ryba at UConn, and the big guy up in Washington, Hannes.
Got them both. And the lead back to 3 for Arizona. Cougars haven't lost here. Fertitta center, Nelson with Flemings. Sinak. And out of bounds. It'll be Houston basketball when we return. A look at today's Wooden Watch. It's presented by Principal. And look at this group of Big 12 players on the list. The 2 of them here today, and Jaden Bradley and Kingston Flemings.
Yes, and we haven't had a chance to say send our very best to Richie Saunders and JT Toppin, 2 incredible competitors. I know coaches around the league reached out to both Kevin Young and Grant McCaslin to offer their support. 2 great players. JT was on his way to, John, first-team All-American, and really other than Cam Boozer, I think, was right there with National Player of the Year honors. So wish them both well.
No doubt.
We'll see JT, I think, again in the Texas Tech uniform. Watch Krivas now. He's on the ball at 7-2.
They're able to get it eventually to Sacco. Used and contested. Tip, Sinek grabs it. Flemings at the basket. And they're within 1. Kingston Flemings with 10. Good hands by Sinek. Delorso. Parchenkov. And Arizona, an offensive rebound. We told you at the outset, both teams really good offensive rebound.
Well, let's go back and watch Sinek right here. I've called him a professional rebounder because of that length and hustle. And freshman to freshman right here as Kingston Flemings gets to the rim.
That last foul, by the way, was on Flemings. That's his 3rd.
I think Kelvin's good with him right now.
Yeah.
And Kingston's just got to be judicious. You know, it's almost like he's got to let his man score if it just happens instead of giving up that 4th foul.
Arizona is on a run right now, they're missing free throws. Bradley is 0 for 3. Missed them both, and Parchenkov, offensive rebound. Bradley, elbow jumper, wouldn't go. Sinek with the rebound, and Houston a chance to take their first lead of the day. Sacco not able to handle that pass.
Hey, John, let's talk about Sacco briefly. He's honoring Ramadan right now. His Muslim faith, Ramadan, is this month. And he doesn't eat after sunrise. Last night they loaded him with chicken and water and Gatorade. This morning he had breakfast. That's not an excuse for the drop, but really unique circumstance for these young guys of that Muslim faith.
Parchenkov. Out of Pretty clean look at it with that left hand. Now Flemings the other way, working on Nelson. Sharp will try.
Look at Sinak, man. What an effort.
Great effort by Sinak. And I think they got the foul on Tugler.
You know, John, this young man could have gone to any school in America, the best center in the high school class. He chose to come here knowing that he would be yelled at every day to play hard. And he might not have gotten the NIL money he could have got other schools. He's going to make up for it on June 24th.
Yeah, Chris Sinak is going to make his money. Chris Sinak Jr.
He's a natural rebounder, and the effort level has increased.
They get a foul on Kribas? Yeah, they did. That's his third. All right.
Remember Sinak's effort on Monday at Iowa State?
Big time. Tugler with the smaller Tarchenkov on him, using. Houston has the lead. Timeout, Arizona.
Little dribble handoff right here. Set play. Buzan. Catch and shoot and make.
Come at 8:30 Eastern. Good battle of the SEC, Kentucky and Auburn. And we end the night in the Big 12. Number 6, number 23. All right, the brackets. In terms of the committee release, what it would look like right now, are you surprised it's Iowa State as a one and not Houston?
No, because we got 3 more weeks of what I call Western Conference playoffs. You know, Iowa State's got to go to Arizona next week along with Kansas. Houston, if they hold serve at home today, there's going to be 3 teams out of this league that are in the 1 or 2 line.
Tarchenkov, that's too easy. Kelvin Sampson, he's be pleased with that. We're tied at 44. Tarchenkov has 11.
Right now, if you're the Wildcats, you got to weather this storm. The next 4 minutes, good pop basket.
Flemings with the deuce off the feed. Tugler finds it.
Nice set. Call that a horn set with a little back screen. No help.
Tarchenkov looking to bully the freshman Flemings, and he does.
You love that. That's what we call targeting a mismatch. They know Houston would switch. Tarchenkov's got Flemings on him. He takes him right to the hole.
I feel like college has gotten more of an NBA flavor the last 10 years or so. And they do more of that.
That's called great coaching.
Sinak jumper off the window and in.
You know me, John. I wanted to send him a Valentine's card. I love him so much. Because he got knocked by people that said he didn't play hard.
Bradley hesitates. And they get the foul.
Let's watch the big fella from New Orleans. We know he's a rebounder. He's got a good touch. And right here, tough shot. And he will play as a rookie in the NBA, the first half of his season as a 19-year-old. So the future is bright.
That last foul was on Sharp. He's got 3. So Flemings, Tugler, and Sharp all with 3 for Houston. That bears watching. Arizona to inbound. It's Bradley.
Remember, this is a small lineup now. Arizona has not done this much this year.
Well, Orso 2 more. He's got 18. And we're back to tie. Good one here at Fertitta Center. Arizona leading most of the way. Shot hangs. And he'll shoot 2.
Watch Anthony Del Orso. They need his scoring with Pete out. Rivas in foul trouble. He takes Flemings into the low post. Now, I will tell you, as much as we love Flemings offensively, teams pick on him defensively. There's no more shed. And some of those great, tough, hard-nosed point guards. And that's not Kingston's strength right now as a freshman.
Flemings will grab a seat, but one of the things that we have documented, I mean, he is smallish in terms of the width part of it. He goes 6'4". They list him at 190. That might be generous. He played his senior year at 165, and they take advantage of him. A lot of times, it's the physicality.
No doubt. And that'll change as he gets older and more mature.
Chekhov off the window, wouldn't fall. Awaka tips. Del Orso.
That's a great hustle play by Tobe Awaka. These teams are so similar in terms of crashing the glass.
Bradley. Del Orso at the bucket. Awaka the rebound. Yeah, I mean, there's got to be times for Kelvin Sampson. He's sitting there saying, it's like watching us with all the tips and the deflections. 2-point game, number 2, Houston at home. Kelvin Sampson, his team is up by 2. 11:38 to go. One significant factor, JoJo Tugler now with 4 fouls.
Yes, he's fouled out 4 games. 11 times this season. He's picked up 4 fouls in a game. It's probably the one thing that you wish, if you're Kelvin Sampson, he would improve on. But also, John, as a coach, he loves the errors of commission, the effort fouls. So hard to complain about it when you have that kind of depth. Also, Sacco in along with Sinak.
We'll see how long he waits to bring Tugler back in. Obviously, it will be score dependent. Del Orso, catch, shoot, and hit.
Set play. They've run that this year. It's a staggered double away, and they executed it perfectly.
So it's Arizona leading by a point. Sharp inside, trying to find Sinak. He does. And now what are they going to say? Possession arrow, and it belongs to Arizona.
Let's go back and watch that play right out of the timeout for Del Orso. He's hanging out right here, away from the ball. Here comes a stagger. Karchenkov, Awaka, wide open. That's called a staggered double screen, and it's perfect execution. Watch Del Orso work off the screen, catch and shoot. The freshman is late.
Del Orso with a game-high 21.
For the high-low.
Awaka posting down low, wrestling with Sinak. Loose ball. Bradley will go track it down. Shot clock under 10. Bradley, full head of steam off the glass, wouldn't go.
I've said it. Sinak, he just knows how to rebound. Good job by Krivas not committing that forced foul also.
Flemings.
Mismatch. Take him. Take him.
A good look inside. And they get the foul on Arizona, but Sacco point blank couldn't hit. I believe it's on Jake Bradley. Yep. And that's number 2.
Well, Flemings had the mismatch. He got past Krivas. That was a given. Let's watch right here. And I think Jaden got him from behind.
Khalifa Sacco, though, I mean, there was no foul as he was shooting.
He's got to make that. It's not a good free
So far, he's 12 for 19. And you don't have a calculator handy. That's 63%. Into that last shot. Bradley will sit.
Well-traveled. Junior college, Utah State, Sam Houston last year. And with the transfer portal, it's like an NBA team picking up a veteran big guy for the playoff run.
Missed them both. So Arizona maintains the lead. Rivas, he's been quiet. Banging down low, and they get the foul on Sacco. A reminder, women's college basketball coming at you, and that'll be tomorrow. We get it going with Ole Miss and South Carolina, and then number 11 Oklahoma hosting number 21 Tennessee. We finish with Iowa State and TCU.
Cyclones are getting healthy. Audie Crooks, she's a load inside.
Rivas. And Fleming's able to track it down. Houston with a chance to retake the lead. Fleming's with Korchenkov on him. And a turnover. Murray slashing inside, and he draws the foul.
Once again, John, once again, our Ivan Korchenkov is so good defensively. There are not many players in college basketball with the hands this quick. Just watch him. Just watch him. Watch him. Forces a tough pass into the turnover.
The last foul on Milos using his first. 9:22 to go. Burries has yet to score. He is their leading scorer on the season.
You know, honestly, John, look at his face. And he's been battling the flu all week, and he looks like a kid that just rolled out of bed. Give him credit for playing. Not a lot of guys would play under these conditions.
Wayne Aristotle is back in Tucson, still dealing with the flu. Burries, one of the top freshmen in the country. He's considered a big-time draft prospect. Right now, ESPN has him going 17th overall. But this kid could shoot, and I think the other part with Braden Burries is you're talking about a player who's gotten better and better as the season's gone on.
Got a little cut on Tobey's left knee.
Kelvin Sampson going over to Brooks Wells and saying, hey, let's go.
No, that's legal. If you can handle that blood situation quickly, they'll take care of it. I don't want to jinx these officials, but by and large, they've been pretty solid today.
Burries makes the free throw, so we're capable of jinxing free throws and officials. There's a lot of power that we have over here.
Only job where you got to start out perfect and improve from there.
Using way downtown.
Stepped out of bounds, Tobey.
Houston basketball, 9:04 to go. Bradley will check back in. Korchenkov will grab a seat. Flemings tosses it in. Sharp will go track it down. 9 to go here in this one. Number 2, Houston. Number 4, Arizona. And it's a 3-point game. Arizona has led for most of this one. Using inside, a little bit short. And possession arrow, it belongs to Houston. Brand, that's a good example. Uzang got inside, and he was anticipating Krivas waiting there. And that's what happens when you have a 7-2 guy, right?
That's exactly right. Now, I think they got to check the shot clock because the ball did not hit the rim. So before they automatically reset it to 20, I think they're going to go back and check and see. Let's see what they do. They got to go check it. I think to your point about Krivas, he's not a shot blocker, John.
Previous play is under review to see if the ball struck the rim.
That's Greg Nixon.
Yep. I don't think it did, so when it goes out of bounds, that's when you're going to have that shot clock reset to about 1 or 2. Did it hit? Oh, it might have. It might have grazed it. Now, not only can you not tell from this angle, but by rule, they cannot use the back. Now, this they can look at. But the camera behind the backboard is an optical illusion. It's close. It looks like, to me, John, it grazes. How about you?
Yeah, but I don't think you can overturn it.
Well, that's a great point. It's got to be conclusive. I didn't see the rotation of the ball change.
Not really.
Now, again, they have angles over there that we might not be able to see.
After review, the ball, in fact, struck the rim.
Okay.
Houston's ball and line, 22nd on the shot clock.
I'll buy it. My eyes are not that good, so I trust those guys.
I'm sure you said that as a coach, too.
Oh, yeah. I did not. Randy McCall, one of those officials, he had to put up with me in the Mountain West.
Back in the day.
Back in the day, he was a young official. I was a very spry young head coach.
You were a precocious head coach.
I was gifted.
Yeah.
I was gifted.
To go through our thesaurus pregame. All right, here we go. Emmanuel Sharp now. 8:40 to play from Fertitta Center in Arizona. Leads it by 3. Houston with the basketball. Fleming's going to work on Burries. And Awaka comes to help. Sinak will try. Sinak can't hit.
Good effort by Sacco, but he stepped out of bounds. Good effort.
Arizona basketball.
This is a tremendous effort by Arizona today, John. You know, shorthanded, down 2 players. First-round pick on the bench.
Burries will try. And that is off the mark.
Foul. Not a good foul.
And Flemings went down. Tobe Awaka, they got him at 6'8", 255. I mean, he is, it's like running into a wall.
Yeah, and Tobe just couldn't get out of the way. He's trying to stop, but to your point, when you're that size, moving that fast,
yeah,
it's like turning around an oil tanker.
So Awaka has 4.
And Arizona back to playing small, which has been pretty good for them.
Yeah, it's not an overly big Houston team, so look at Krivas rejecting Sharp. And Emmanuel Sharp went down hard.
Watch Krivas now. Sharp wants body. Krivas wants to back away from Sharp. Sharp is seeking body. Krivas is trying to stay 7'2" and does a great job right there.
Let's build a retirement benefits plan that works for your team. And things have been physical here in Houston. The Cougars and the Wildcats, number 2 and number 4 squaring off, and it's been the road team in control most of the day. Arizona on top by 3. All right, so points off turnovers, that's been a big part of Kelvin Sampson's success. Last 2 games, not so much.
Yeah, it starts in the backcourt. They don't put the pressure on the ball that we're used to seeing from those Shed teams. That one Shed team, when he was a junior, I remember when they won the Charleston Classic, and it felt like they were playing with 6 defenders. At their best, that's what it feels like, and you don't get the same feeling. And they're good. They're good defensively, but they're not what they were.
Fleming's hesitation, jumper, rolls off.
Very good. There you go. Good hustle.
Great shot by Arizona to track down the loose ball. So now up 3 with the ball.
There's that mismatch.
Chenkov and Krivas, a huge rebound.
See, it's going to be Arizona ball, but I've seen this season. You must protect the 7'2" guy. Because when he does get it, that was good hustle by Houston. There have been times this year where people maul the guy, and then they call a foul on him. Good job both ways. Good piece of officiating, too.
All of a sudden, I'm sitting next to Jeff Van Gundy. Cylinder violation.
Just so you know, if you're not sure what a cylinder violation is, you must give the offensive player a chance to make a basketball play by pivoting. See right here, and that Sacco invades the cylinder.
So Del Orso to the line. He's got 21. It's a 1-and-1 spot. 21 leads all scorers. Buries the first.
And what he's done right there, for the second time in 2 years, he's tied his career high. 22 against BYU. And now a chance to go 23.
Missed that one. Flemings gathers it in. Sharp at the basket, rejected.
What a play. What a play by Krivas.
Bo Krivas gets the swat. Del Orso rejected. Buries offensive rebound and puts it home.
You know, about 6 minutes ago, I said Krivas is not a shot blocker. In the last 2 minutes, he's made me look like an idiot. What a great play. I don't even know when he left his feet, but it was late.
8-0 Arizona run. Sadak can't answer. Karchenkov rebounds. And the Wildcats with the basketball up by 6. Tommy Lloyd saying, hang on.
They love this with Karchenkov on the drives.
And a block there. Out of bounds.
Watch here the block by Karchenkov. Great job, great hustle. And then here comes Sacco. And Buries right spot, right time. Sacco, great job right there.
Khalifa Sacco, who's gotten a chance to play more and more in the second half of the Big 12 schedule. Tugler back in the game with 4 fouls. Krivas has 4 as well.
Well, looking at Arizona, John, and you really got to give them credit because the 5 on the floor right now and Awaka have played a ton of minutes in a really difficult environment.
So Awaka watching as Sharp fouls it out. Bradley pulls it down. Wow. I mean, Emmanuel Sharp is one of the better free throw shooters out there. 88%. Krivas collects and throws it down. Timeout Houston, and Arizona on a 10-0 run.
Watch this now. We told you they went small, but even going small, Karchenkov can go high-low right there. The second time tonight, they've got him in the middle of the floor, and what Krivas does, he walks his man up the lane to the foul line to create all that space for the lob over the top. Really, really good execution by the Wildcats.
Reminder, coming up, we got some NBA for you right here on ABC. It's NBA Saturday primetime. The Rockets and the Knicks, they square off at 8:30 Eastern. Ernie, Kenny, Charles, and Chat tip-off coverage at 8, and they'll be back at 11 to break it all down. That's tonight on ABC and the ESPN app. Charles was out at Cubs camp recently.
Charles
Barkley,
wow.
Yeah, he was. Going to see his friend Rick Sutcliffe and visiting with the Chicago Cubs. Loves his baseball.
Yep. Tell you what, 17 NBA teams here today. That's common in the Big 12 this year with Devonta and Clemens, Sanak.
32 total scouts.
I'm impressed with Arizona's toughness.
No doubt.
John, I really feel this way. If it weren't for the injury to Pete, and if you're an Arizona fan, let me just tell you something. Yes, you want to win the Big 12, but you have not been to the Final Four in 25 years. Your season starts on March 19th. And I know you're going to win games. There's more wins in the regular season in the Big 12 tournament. But this team will be built for March as long as they're healthy. They're top 8. We've chronicled how good they are. They
play hard. They defend. They're great on the offensive glass. A very, very good team. Clemens contested. Over short. Good job by Bradley.
Great defense. They have really kept Kingston Clemens from doing what he does, which is pull up and make that shot.
Jaden Bradley gets some speed. Step back. That'll go.
You know what he just did? Sacco was looking for the fastball, and he threw the curveball at him.
Well, Bradley with the pause. And dropped it home. Uzan. And that jumper wouldn't fall. And Awaka rips down the rebound. Tobe Awaka by rate in terms of minutes. As good a rebounder as you will find in college basketball.
No question. The #1 offensive rebounder in the country and right there in the top 20 defensively. Marchenkov has made it a problem for Houston with his drives.
Marchenkov trying to hand it off to Awaka, who's able to find Del Orso. Got to get it up. Del Orso. Jumper. And Sanak rebounds the miss. Sharp at the basket. Wouldn't go, but he draws the foul. It's a 10-point Arizona lead.
We've been in this building when it's been electric, and the fact that Arizona not only played so well in the first half, John, but battled that great run early second half has kept this crowd at bay.
Well, look, that shot Uzan hit to give him the lead. I mean, that got the crowd going bananas, and Arizona just dug in. So Sharp now looking for his second. Got them both.
We're still in a possession game, but there have been times when Houston gets back behind where they throw the full court pressure. We're probably a minute or so away from that.
Bradley rejected the screen. Layup wouldn't fall. Awaka rips down the rebound.
What they're doing right now, they're opening up the floor for Bradley and Marchenkov to drive. There he goes.
Bradley spins. And Fleming swoops in for the rebound. Sharp, that's deep. And a foul inside. Did they just get Tobe Awaka with his 5th? The Cougars down by 8. They have not lost at home this year. Arizona, it's been Anthony Del Orso and Ivan Marchenkov that have been carrying the load today.
Yep, Marchenkov, we've said all year, the glue guy. Del Orso, great off the bench, former starter. He has been money the last 2 games. Korchenkov just plays like a senior. He's a tank inside. They've used him wisely to create some mismatches. And on a night where they're shorthanded, those 2 guys have stepped up.
You may not think of Del Orso in defense. He's got 4 steals here today, and we've seen Korchenkov making his impact at that end of the court.
Yeah, all season long. Now, Krivas for Awaka, who has fouled out. And the small lineup today has actually been very good for Arizona, John. And again, you can see this lineup at points in the NCAA tournament versus some of those mid-major lower seed teams.
Toby Awaka is fouled out. Remember, Arizona playing today without Koa Pete. A lower leg strain for their prize freshman forward.
And their other prize freshman, Dwayne Aristode, back home recovering from the flu.
1-1 for Khalifa Sacco. And that's a big make. 3:45 to play. Arizona by 7. John Sciambi and Fran Fraschilla. What a day of college basketball on ABC and ESPN. Still to come tonight, 6:30 Eastern from Washington, D.C. Number 1, Michigan. Number 3, Duke. And here's the pressure.
Yep, it's worked before.
They get it to Del Orso.
Those guys up in Kansas know about this pressure, don't they?
Del Orso. That's Bradley. Off the mark. And eventually Sacco comes up with it. Houston down 6. Sharp will try.
Boy, they've had shots go in and out.
Yeah, that was halfway.
Yeah, Emmanuel started to back up like he made it.
Cougars have missed 10 straight field goal attempts. Under 3 to play. Krivas. And it'll be 2 shots, says Korchenkov. It was located by Mo Krivas and then fouled going to the basket.
Yeah, how about that cut by Korchenkov? Krivas caught it, looked middle. And then Korchenkov with a smart play right here. Watch Krivas. He's going to look middle, see who's cutting. Korchenkov, that's for a freshman. Now, he's played a lot of basketball. That's a heck of a play.
Korchenkov at the line. A 74% free throw shooter. He's made them both today. And he misses that one.
Boy, both teams have given away some points on the free throw line today.
Yeah, Arizona's had a number of misses at front ends of 1-and-1s. That was in the first half, and they're 9 of 18. That is problematic. Gets the second.
Fleming's like he's a glove.
Used in with Burries on him. Krivas pops out. Fleming way downtown. Oh, boy. They're within 4, and the freshman nails it.
Watch Bradley. He's not going to pick it up because the clock keeps running, but the shot clock doesn't start until he touches it. Every second matters.
Korchenkov working on Sinek. Under 2 to play. It's a 4-point game. Korchenkov from Burries. Offensive rebound.
They're going to use the clock. Smart play. Ball screen high, spread it.
Bradley step back, jumper is good.
Deja vu.
He's hit so many of those mid-range jumpers this year. Fleming's pull-up. That won't fall. Big miss right there. 1:13 to go.
Well, Kingston has not shot the 3 ball lately, and this is actually really good defense by Karchenkov. And then Jaden Bradley, John, we saw it last year. We see it this year. This is what a senior guard, point guard does.
And I mean, that is not a shot that the analytics people are fond of.
Yeah.
But it is a shot that is certainly part of his game. A long 2,
well,
and he knocks him down.
You know, Chris Paul, Kevin Durant, James Harden, they all make that shot.
Right.
You know, some guys make that shot. Got to make these.
And he gets the front end. Gets them both. He's changed his shoes twice. He's worn 3 pairs of shoes today, and I think it's just a superstition thing. Hughes in at the glass, and there's Tumbler to follow.
They'll also
Del Orso grabbing at his ankle. 22 today, coming off a huge game against BYU when he had 22. So he's matched his Arizona high.
Well, the last couple weeks for Arizona have been unfortunate, and we just hope he's okay. John, something else that we need to talk about. Houston, and let's watch him.
Yeah, it looked like he rolled that left ankle as he was on the move.
Now I think Evan Nelson will be in the game. He's checking in. Keep this in mind. Houston, if they do not win today, will be on a 2-game losing streak going to Allen Fieldhouse, where we expect an angry atmosphere, with Kansas unimaginably getting blown out today by Cincinnati.
It would, by the way, be their first 2-game losing streak in over 2 years. Pressure coming from Houston under a minute to play. Arizona with a 6-point advantage.
Just a little thing here. Evan Nelson at Harvard shot 85% from the foul line. But right now, Bradley's going to have a chance to be the hero.
So Bradley will march to the line as Houston tries to extend the game. It'll be 2 shots. Jaden here today, 2 out of 6. Bradley gets the first. The lead is 7.
You know, he might not be the most talented point guard in the country, John, but does anybody control his team any better than he does?
Yeah, he is the floor general, and down the stretch, he wants the ball in his hands.
Got to go probably for a 3 here. Maybe not.
Flemings. And they get the foul on Privas, and that's going to be number 5.
Love to know if that was Privas. Thought he got all ball right there. Now, Del Orso's going to come back. That's a good thing. Not just now, but the rest of the season. So he just tweaked that ankle.
Yep. So tightening the laces on that shoe.
For Arizona, you got to keep an eye on Tugler on that second free throw.
What just happened?
Well, they
What's
just
going
wait.
on, Brooks
Yep.
Wells? Were they waiting on Del Orso? I'm not sure.
Well, Greg Nixon was at the scorer's table, so, with Del Orso.
So a loss on Monday at Iowa State for Houston. Right now on the short end against Arizona. And Monday they go to Allen Fieldhouse. And it'll be a cranky Bill Self and company after being beat up today by Cincinnati. Timeout Arizona, 67-61, 44.4 seconds to play. John Sciambi, Fran Fraschilla with you here on ABC is the Big 12. Fran, are you capable at this point with all the years you've done in this league of deciding that this is the best year for the league over? You know what I mean? It all kind of runs together. And what are the qualifications? But is this year the best year?
The top of the league, John. Remember, in the old days with 10 teams, you had 8 of the 10 going to the NCAA tournament, right? So the bottom of the league is not as strong yet. It will be, but at the top of the league, with the great coaching with Self and McCaslin and Otzelberger, Kevin Young, I think the top of the league obviously is as good as it's ever been. Back in 02 or 03, I think they had like 3 teams that were either a 1 or a 2 seed. Texas, Oklahoma, with Kelvin Sampson, by the way, and Kansas. Now, John, one quick thing. Arizona, for some reason, they're so well coached. They have had trouble this year closing out games versus pressure full court defense. And you remember BYU at BYU where they almost gave the game away. Why do I say that? You have to cut hard right now and get yourself open, which I don't think they've done well this season.
Tommy Lloyd trying to pull off a tall task in winning it for Tita Center.
Don't tell him it's an upset now.
I get you.
Because of how he feels about his team.
No question.
Got to cut hard.
They get it in. Murray's harassed and fouled. And Uzan charged with the foul. I believe that's number 2. So double bonus the rest of the way both ways. Fleming's about to check in for offense.
We're going to hang out in Tucson next weekend.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a blast. They'll go to Baylor on Tuesday, and then big weekend for the Wildcats. I give this young man all the credit in the world, Braden Burries. You can just look at his face and know he is not 100%, John. He's going to be drinking a lot of Gatorade on the way to Waco.
Well, he's trying to make the second. And he does. It's an 8-point game. So no Pete, no Aristode. Off day from Burries. A walk-in Kribas foul out. And Arizona still in position to pick up a huge road win against the second-ranked team in the country.
Got to foul him.
And they do. 69-63.
Houston trailed Kansas last year in Allen Fieldhouse. 6 points, 16 seconds to go. So I'm not going to tell you this game is over yet. Came back and won, I think, double overtime.
They did. That was...
The previous play is under review for the clock starting on time.
Works well, so they're going to take a peek at whether maybe the clock needed to start a tiny bit sooner.
I'll stop there.
Randy McCall, Greg Nixon, Brooks Wells over there.
You know, let me say this, John. And you get crushed by fans, okay? That's a hard job they have. And they're not perfect. They miss about 5% of the calls. And I don't know why anybody would want to be a referee except they love the game.
Yes.
And they missed a few today, but come on now.
Not much.
Yeah, not much.
No, and I would say you're talking about, I mean, when you're doing Houston, Arizona, Iowa State, those are teams that are basically, they're making the officials make a decision almost every time the ball moves.
Yeah, no question. Tell you what, John, we're not getting to Kansas till tomorrow. I'm going to be watching this one tonight, man.
No question. Michigan and Duke.
Yep. Dusty May's done an amazing job. We saw them in November. They should have lost at TCU. And I remember talking to Dusty before the game. And I said, man, you got a lot of players. He said, Coach, I feel like a chef. I've got a lot of ingredients, but I don't know how to cook the meal yet. And it took them about a month. And right now, I mean, you could say they're the best team in the country.
They're cooking.
They're cooking. Yep.
Dan Schulman, Jay Billis, Chris Button will serve up that telecast.
Ooh.
Coming up at 6:30 in Washington, D.C. .8 to go. The story today, Anthony Del Orso, the Aussie, off the bench with 22. That's a game high, and that's the most he's had in an Arizona uniform, matching his last game against BYU.
CD Gay out. Nelson back in. They'll switch on all 5 spots because there'll be a 3-point shot coming.
Got to get something up here. Flemings fires. Tip, Arizona ball out of bounds, and it'll be Houston basketball as that one went off of Nelson. And they're going to put CD Gay back in.
For Nelson, offense, defense, defense, offense. Gay gives you that long wingspan on the inbound.
Butler handoff Flemings, wouldn't fall, tip out, Uzan jumper, got it. 10.3 seconds to go, and it's a 4-point game.
You normally would feel good if you're an Arizona fan, honestly, 10.3 seconds, 4-point deficit, but not with Houston. The odds are long, but not with Houston. They know what they're doing. They play so hard.
Yeah, you got to play it out to the end, but yeah, from a probability standpoint, up 4 with the ball, 10.3 to go.
But I'll say this, John, I know you probably feel the same way. We have seen Arizona at their best this year when they're healthy. If they hold on and win, this is a huge, it says something about their toughness and character, which we know they have.
Yeah, I'm not sure, especially considering how they're able to win today without some key guys. I'm not sure they're not the best team.
Here's the football play now. 5 across the baseline. The inbounder can run. They'll send everybody long, and someone will button hook back.
Offensive coordinator Fran Fraschilla letting you know.
We ran an out pattern there just to get the first down.
Oh, it was well done. You and Sean McVay. Goodness.
Tell you another guy that's happy today is Evan Nelson, because his Harvard Crimson went up to Cornell today and spanked Cornell and clinched a spot in the Ivy League tournament. And Evan making a huge contribution today when they needed him.
Well, Evan's not the only guy that has the connection to that Harvard game.
Your partner's a happy man right now.
I love that.
Yep. What a win.
You're not kidding.
What a win.
This is the second 5-point game. Fleming's getting up. Fires. Marchenko. And they foul him. And that is going to do it. Marchenkov will march to the other end. This will be Arizona's third win against an AP top 3 team as they knock off Houston and do it on the road. Impressive. Tommy Lloyd and the Arizona Wildcats come into Fertitta Center and pick up the W. Number 4 knocks off number 2. And you're talking about 2 teams that have a chance to go deep in the NCAA tourney. 73-66, Arizona wins it over Houston. Be sure to tune into ABC tonight at 8:30 Eastern, NBA Saturday primetime. Thanks for joining us. So long from Houston.